Mental health services in India are poor. There is urgent need to address the problems of persons with psychosocial disabilities. A National Human Rights Commission report in 1999, which covered 37 government facilities, found that almost 40% of mental hospitals in India still retain a jail-like structure. There is a glaring shortage of psychologists and psychiatrists in more than 50% of these hospitals. Living conditions are dehumanizing, marked by inadequate clothing, poor hygiene, and substandard food. The total bed strength in the state of Maharashtra, spread over 4 mental hospitals, was a mere 6,000 in 1999. In contrast, traditional healing centers are spread out all over the state. They serve as an alternative therapeutic community in the local region. THCs act as a parallel health system in all parts of the country. Traditional healing cuts across geographic and demographic criteria. Hundreds of sufferers who come and stay here are bound by the solidarity of common ailments. These places are not stigmatized or isolated. They form a hub of human activity and day-to-day life. People who go to traditional healing places are considered superstitious and backward. Actually, theirs is typical relief-seeking behavior.
There are a couple of points to make. One is that people hold, at a mental level, hold flexible models about what's causing the problem causation. And according to those ideas, they seek help. So people seek help from multiple places at the same time and at different times. And they easily shift between these systems. There's very little difficulty conceptually or practically in moving, say, from a doctor to a traditional healer in the same day or in the same week, dealing with the same illness.
Our research at THCs in Maharashtra showed that over 75% of people who access these healing centers come after biomedical system has failed to address their concerns. On the other hand, traditional healers address the community's well-being in a more holistic manner, by basing practices on a foundation of spirituality.
बाहेर पडून ज्यावेळेस तो देवस्थानात येतो त्यावेळेला ते काही लोकांना पाहून मग इतरांना बरं वाटतं म्हणजे मला बरं वाटतं हे त्याच्यामध्ये डोक्याला यायला ज्यावेळेस तो मग फेऱ्या देवदर्शन वगैरे करून अंगारा लावून फेऱ्या घालायला चालू करतो तसं त्याचा विचार फक्त माझं बाबा काहीतरी चांगलं करणार आहे ही त्याची भावना वाढत जाते आशा वाढत जाते आणि त्यानंतर जरा फेऱ्या वगैरे घालून ज्यावेळेस बसतात त्यावेळेला काही लोक निवांत बसलेले दिसतात काही लोक म्हणजे आराम केलेले दिसतात असं ते लोक बरं होतात म्हणजे मी बरा होणार हे त्याला खात्री होऊन जाते.
Healing is not just about relief from distress. It is also about enhancement of the positive emotions of sufferers.
सामान्य आजार जे परिस्थितीमुळे झाले ज्यांना काउन्सिलिंगची जास्त जरूर हे आजार लोकल लेवलला देखील ते जास्त इझिली देऊ शकतात, कारण त्याच कल्चरमध्ये ते लहानाचे मोठे झालेले असतात. तिथलं कल्चर, तिथले ट्रॅडिशन्स, त्या लोकांच्या एकमेकाचे रिलेशनशिप काय हे त्या लोकल माणसाला जास्त चांगल्या पद्धतीने माहिती असते डॉक्टरांपेक्षा, आणि त्यामुळे त्या गोष्टी बऱ्याच वेळा ते योग्य पद्धतीने हँडल करू शकतात.
It would be unwise to dismiss traditional practices as blind faith. In fact, they often provide tangible benefits.
Was this idea of whatever the ritual practice is, whatever is followed, that this has an effect, an unknown and uncharted and probably untestable effect on the outcomes of health and disease. So I think what's incumbent upon us now is to try, and people like myself and others, to try and take the best from the tradition and bring it forward in whatever ways we can, and articulate its rationale to whomever will listen.
Traditional healing centers offer culturally sensitive spaces for people to express their faith, aspiration, and distress.
These sort of processes allow people to express their problems in a very emotional and very relevant way. A couple of these studies in India particularly have found that there's been a difference in the level of symptoms.
That faith is central to the process of healing is a fact acknowledged by all. The ability of faith in generating emotions of hope and strength is decisive in the crossover between illness and health. Various rituals enacted in traditional healing centers have a symbolic meaning. They stand for the values of purity, cleansing, triumph over evil, and the restoration of health and well-being. Performance of many rituals has an element of ordeal. They symbolize the penance that the person has to go through in order to achieve transcendence and divine grace. People post their pleas at places that they feel are closest to divine powers. Often, trees at healing centers are considered to be holy and are marked with ritual objects such as lemons, ragdolls, nails, and bangles. In many instances, the local healer takes on the role of a problem solver who gives hope and reassurance to the sufferer. His role is akin to a community's anchor, arbitrating community issues. He thus becomes the spiritual leader or guru of this community of fellow sufferers. We also realize that healers may capitalize on their personal charisma. They may aggravate community politics, taking sides with the powerful. It is interesting to note that most healers in institutions are men. Women healers work usually as individual healers, not attached to any institution. It is unfortunately true that exploitation and human rights violation do happen in traditional healing centers. But THCs also offer substantial gains as well. Some THCs may play an active role in directly addressing health issues of that region through specific programs, like de-addiction, which are couched in a religious moral discourse.
काही बंधन नाही आहे, काही वैकल्य नाही आहे, काही कर्मकांड नाही आहे. सुखी राहा, दारू सोडा, सुखाने संसार करा विशेष.
In some places, native herbs are dispensed by Vaidyas and herbalists. Many THCs give space to the sufferer for self-expression and catharsis, particularly through music. Active participation by the family and the community is a crucial part of treatment. All these factors indicate that there is need to address the issue of traditional healing in any policy-level discussion on mental health.
दोन गोष्टी महत्त्वाच्या आहेत. ट्रॅडिशनल हिलर्स हे त्या पिढ्यानपिढ्या त्या गावामध्ये त्या खेड्यांमध्ये त्यांचं बसणार आहे. दे आर इझिली अवेलेबल इकॉनॉमिकली आणि फिजिकली, आणि त्याच्यामुळे या लोकांचा जर मानसिक आरोग्याच्या दृष्टीने फायदा करून घेता आला तर करून घेणं माझ्या मते खूपच महत्त्वाचं ठरेल.
So what does that imply for policy? I think it's an important point. What does it imply for the quality of services, mental health services that we provide? I think the key point is that if mental health policy does not recognize traditional healers and traditional healing centers, then we are not providing comprehensive care to the patients. And providing comprehensive care requires that there be a recognition that these centers and these healers are part of the system of care, and in order to achieve some level of comprehensiveness, there has to be a dialogue between the systems so that they're talking to each other. That I think the health-seeking behavior has to be linked to service provision.
Which needs to be explored and discussed is a partnership. Is based on a value of partnership, where there is give and take. You not only dialogue with the traditional healers about what their role should be, but you also learn from that system. I believe that modern institutions can learn a lot from the values and practices which are prevailing in the traditional healing system.
While not discounting their problems, traditional healing centers may give us useful insights into what is needed to create an effective community mental health system.
या